Movies have become more and more detailed throughout the years. There's an incredible amount of intricacy that the directors pour into movies, whether they are small and subtle or big and jaw-dropping. Because of our ability to watch these movies at home, we are able to catch many of these moments, whether they be Easter eggs or amazing moments, by pausing and rewinding. Welcome to Cinema Pills. Today we're counting down 10 of some of the most paused scenes in Hollywood history. Before we get into it, don't forget to give our video a like. Also, we are making new videos all the time, so subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on everything. So, are you ready? Here we go! Number 10. The Lion King. From the time that many of us were children, there have always been whispers that the Disney company would sneak in some type of innuendo. One famous example was in the Disney hit The Lion King.
A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here.
In one scene where Simba collapses on the edge of a cliff, a puff of flower petals and dust fly into the wind. It's at this point where keen-eyed viewers picked up on something peculiar. The particles seemed to spell out S-E-X. As the movie was originally released on VHS, it was harder to pause at the right time. But they did, and people saw it. What followed were more conspiracy theories about Disney, fueled by all kinds of people. Unfortunately for those theorists, Disney released a statement later that the dust actually spelled out SFX, which is short for special effects. So it was nothing more than a shout-out. Do you think they were trying to cover something up? Let us know in the comments. Number 9. Total Recall. Total Recall was one of those classic 90s action movies that was full of over-the-top one-liners and seemingly comedic scripts. However, this movie was famous for being on the cutting edge for special effects, at least at the time, from the alien that lived on the guy's chest to the disgusting display of people being exposed to a Martian atmosphere. But there was one pause-worthy scene for many people. The main character, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, was supposed to meet a partner in a less than reputable brothel.
Looking for Melina.
Well, she's busy, but Mary here, she's free.
Well, not free, honey, but available.
While waiting, Schwarzenegger's character is approached by a female alien being with more than what you'd find on a lady here on Earth. Before you get too excited, it wasn't exactly anything to drool over. It actually resembled some sort of a defect. You know, one of those things that you shouldn't stare at, but you have to? Yeah, it was that. Number 8. 3 Men and a Baby. People usually don't think of a comedy film having anything that would be pause-worthy, but 3 Men and a Baby makes the cut. Not because of something sexual or funny, but because there was a rumor that a ghost was caught on film and that it made it into the final cut of the scene. In one particular scene, when Jack Holden, played by Ted Danson, and his mother are walking through the house that he shares with 2 of his friends, as Miss Holden plays with the baby, a human figure can be seen standing behind the curtains in the background.
You know, you boys live like pigs.
No, Mom. Look, there. Is she beautiful?
There she is.
This caused many people to pause the scene and rewind just to make sure they saw what they think they saw. So was that a ghost? Tom Selleck appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon to set the record straight. In the movie, Ted Danson plays a character who's an actor, and stand-up cardboard images of himself are all over the apartment. The image seen behind the curtain is actually one of those cutouts. So there you have it. Everyone can thank Ted Danson for it. Well played, sir. Number 7. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. 1999 saw the first Star Wars movie to come out since 1983's Return of the Jedi. Not only were old fans excited to see the prequel to their beloved trilogy, but it inspired a new generation of fans as well.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
But in this movie, writer and director George Lucas took the opportunity to put in a little Easter egg in honor of one of his good friends and co-producer to the film, Steven Spielberg. There is a scene in the film that is set in the chamber of the Galactic Senate. As a debate rages, the camera takes a shot of the surrounding Senate members, all from different planets. If you look closely, you can see that there are 3 members of the Senate who are aliens as the same type as E.T. the extraterrestrial. That's right, our amazing alien friend E.T. can be seen. So get your pause button ready and be quick, otherwise you'll miss him. Number 6. Man of Steel. Zack Snyder's 2013 reboot of the Superman franchise was polarizing to say the least. Many fans of the Christopher Reeve film didn't seem to take very well to it. But as Marvel was making a ton of superhero movies, DC needed to step up its game as well. But there was one particular scene in this movie that gave DC fans a sudden burst of excitement. In the climactic fight scene between Kal-El and General Zod.
That is what you have taken from me.
The two foes fly throughout Metropolis, causing massive amounts of collateral damage as they beat each other to a pulp. The fight eventually goes into the upper atmosphere and into space, where Superman throws Zod at a satellite. As this happens, a logo is barely visible on the satellite. When you pause it, you can clearly see the logo of Wayne Enterprises, referencing the Batman character. This was the confirmation that a new series of movies spanning characters from all reaches of the DCU. Number 5. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. There have been very few movies that have truly been a symbol of a teenager's coming of age like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. The teenagers all have certain goals in mind, from becoming a great surfer in Hawaii to simply getting, well, you know what teenage boys think about. Although the history teacher, Mr. Hand, always seemed to be getting in the way of a good time. But anyone who has seen this movie knows what it's really about. Yes, it's all about the pool scene.
Hi, Brad. You know how cute I always thought you.
In the movie, Stacy's older brother is watching out for her and her friend Linda while they swim in the pool. Linda, who is incredibly flirtatious, is ready to get out of the water while Brad, Stacy's older brother, looks on. As she emerges from the water in slow motion, pause buttons all over the world wore out from excess use. Number 4. Star Wars: A New Hope. Star Wars is one of the most beloved science fiction franchises ever created.
Chewie, get us out of here! Oh my, I'd forgotten how much I hate space travel.
Mastermind George Lucas put his heart and soul into this project. It yielded an amazing movie that spawned sequels and prequels alike. But in the original movie, there was a goof by one of the extras that made it into the final cut. As Luke, Han, and Leia are trapped in the garbage chute, C-3PO and R2-D2 are in a room where stormtroopers are trying to enter. They're forced to hide, and soon the troopers gain entry. But as they enter, one of the troopers forgets to watch his head and smacks right into the door. It was very easy for people to miss. However, a simple pause and replay will show the whole thing. Luckily, he was wearing a helmet. Although the stormtroopers were never taught how to hit the target when they shoot, they sure did get the proper safety training. Number 3. Iron Man. This was the first film in the MCU that set off one of the most successful movie franchises in history, rivaled only by the likes of James Bond. Iron Man was the first superhero movie in a long line of Marvel movies. But when it was first released, fans had absolutely no idea how big the Marvel franchise would become, or even that subsequent movies would be so intertwined, at least not all the fans. Some very keen-eyed fans spotted a small Easter egg that would be the foretelling of more heroes to come. When Tony Stark first tests his new suit, he arrives back to his home. As he is attempting to get out of his suit, Pepper Potts catches him in the act. But just under his right arm, as Pepper is asking Tony what is going on,
What's going on here?
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
we can see something totally amazing. When paused at that moment, we see Captain America's shield. Although Iron Man was the first movie, this was a sign that there were more heroes in the world than just him. Marvel played their cards correctly with every move. Their attention to detail with these little things set the stage of excellence for many films to come. Number 2, Fight Club. We here at Cinema Pills are especially excited about this entry, as this is one of our favorite movies. Fight Club, starring Edward Norton and Brad Pitt, was an adaptation of a book and was transformed into cinematic art. Edward Norton plays the narrator, who remains nameless throughout the whole movie. He struggles to find purpose in the midst of an aimless life.
I was stuck. You want me to deprioritize my current reports until you advise of a status upgrade?
Make these your primary action items.
I couldn't sleep.
No.
Upon meeting Tyler Durden, he's suddenly thrown into a world of combat and chaos. It's eventually learned that Tyler is simply a split personality of the narrator. But even though Tyler didn't show up until the movie had gone on for some time, he was always there. Director David Fincher represented the hidden side of the narrator perfectly by flashing quick images of Tyler Durden throughout the beginning of the movie, subliminally giving us glimpses that there was more to the story than what was on the surface. Although nearly impossible on VHS, the DVD version can be paused at the correct times where we will get single-frame glimpses of Durden. Before we get to number 1, don't forget to give our video a like and subscribe to our channel. We have many more videos planned and we want you to be there for all of them. Now, on to number 1. Number 1, The Wizard of Oz. Okay, we get it. This is such an innocent and old school movie when you follow an entry like Fight Club. But it's because of a huge rumor and conspiracy that The Wizard of Oz has become the most paused movie in history. Dorothy, Scarecrow, and Tin Man have just decided that Tin Man would join the group and go to meet the Wizard of Oz. However, when they start walking into the woods, a shadow starts swinging side to side in the background. It's been long rumored that one of the Munchkins killed themselves on set by hanging and that this silhouette was the body. People have paused and rewound this scene over and over again in hopes of trying to determine if this was real. However, MGM has claimed that the dark spot is a raven. While we definitely don't think this looks like a raven, one thing is for sure: you'll never see this scene the same way again. Did we miss anything? Are there scenes that we should have included on the list? Be sure to leave a comment below. Also, click one of the links to see some of our past videos. We look forward to seeing you next time.